I like what I like. And I've always held that true to who I am as a person. Hey, I don't have to explain it to you. I like what I like. And I go to my aunt who is gay, and I went to her one time. I had to be in my 20s. And I said, when did you know that you were gay or that you liked what you like? And she told me, well, I always knew. I knew as a little girl riding back from the beach, looking out the back of the station wagon and looking at the young girls. When was it a time for you that you said, hey, I like what I like, and this is who I am?
So I was 9 when I first realized, or like when I first, I guess, kind of understood that I was attracted to men or that I like men. And um, I think, at that time, um, it didn't feel like any kind of issue. But then the moment I started being bullied,
Mhm.
um, was when I realized that that there was that people or that was when I started to experience messages that something was wrong with me.
Mhm.
And so like that, and unfortunately that started when I was around 10 years old.
Mhm.
Um that the kids at school just started to bully me and call me gay or faggot or queer, like those kinds of things. It's and how they, I guess, identified it in me before I didn't even have the words. I didn't even like I knew that I was attracted to like that handsome man playing with his kids or whatever, but like I didn't know what it meant
Mhm.
until the bullies put words to it.
Mhm. And being neurodivergent, which is, I just literally, ladies and gentlemen, just heard this interview with Mr. Thomas Wilson, who talked about neurodivergence. Being neurodivergent, it's tough to kind of find your lane that makes you comfortable, to find your safe space. And on top of that, you're coming into your own, when you're starting to identify what your sexuality is from outside forces telling you this is what you are and putting a negative connotation from it. What is that like growing up, not only being neurodivergent, right? That makes you different from everybody else or different from the collective. And we're finding out that there's a spectrum on this and we're not all so different, but depending on when you grew up, it would make you extremely different from everybody else or what things are being geared towards you as far as advertisements and things of that nature. And then also this realization that you're being bullied and, oh, yes, I am gay. They're pointing it out to me. This isn't just, I think the father across the street playing with his kids is handsome. I'm attracted to him. It's, it's more than just thinking that he's handsome. What is that like growing up in this environment where maybe you don't have a safe space?
I mean, when I put those pieces together,
Mhm.
I was terrified.
Mhm.
And I ultimate and then from that moment that I realized it through the rest of my adolescence, I just lived in fear.
Mhm.
I I worried about like how I moved my body. I worried about how my voice sounded, even like how I wrote things if like because I have pretty good handwriting, and I would be told that I wrote like a girl. And
I'm sorry, but how can you write like a girl? I don't even know what that means.
because it was like pretty.
I wish I had pretty handwriting. Let me please write like quote
I know.
unquote girl. But go ahead. I just
Dude,
don't understand how that's a knock. But
like,
okay.
it was everything. I know, as a little kid, like, I was being told I couldn't move that way or wear that thing or do this or that, and everything would make me a bigger target.
Right.
And on top of that, like, I was getting those messages at home too. If I put
Right.
something on, like, and I would walk out of my room and my mom would tell me that I couldn't wear what I was wearing because of how it would make me look. And so it was, I, I just felt so constricted. Um, and I just, yeah, it was really terrifying. Like, I just felt like I was in hell, basically.
What is your social in elementary school, middle school? We'll get to high school, but at elementary and middle school, as you're going through this, and as you said, you're being bullied. Did you have a social group? Did you have friends that you were just like they're your buddies and that you did feel safe at? Because from what you're describing to me, you didn't feel really too safe at school. You didn't really feel too safe at home. Where was your safe space? Where was that place where you didn't live in fear?
So, um, I ultimately ended up, I, I ultimately made friends with a lot of like girls.
Mhm.
Um, and, cause like the girls were really kind.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.